Thanks for having me.
No worries, thanks for taking time out. I thought you guys said you were getting hair and makeup in tonight. I'm badly disappointed, guys. John, where's the makeup? Come on.
Oh, I got the hair done. So that's.
I worked all day for this. Come on. I thought I was going to come on to a couple of stunners tonight.
So where are you? Where are you based?
We're Glasgow, just outside Glasgow.
Yeah, what in a town?
So I'm based in Paisley, just outside Glasgow, and Paul's in Gourock.
Little seaside part of Glasgow. Believe it or not, there are beaches here.
Oh no, yeah, I know Paisley. Only from there's a shop. Rubber Dub had a store there once.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I think, and I don't know if they kept that one going.
I think that's been going for a while. The main one now is in Glasgow, next to Central Station. Rubber Dub. They've been there for a long time, actually.
Yeah, and I remember the one in Paisley was like literally ridiculous. It was, but that would have been about 19. I was living in Edinburgh for about 4 years, and then I knew Alan, who set up. Alan and Willie, I think, originally set up Rubber Dub.
Yeah.
And just turning up in Paisley one day was a bit of an eye-opener, to say the least.
It still is. It still is.
Yeah. No, it was proper because Edinburgh's quite leafy.
Yeah.
And nice. And then I knew Glasgow, and then we just went to Rubber Dub that day, and it's like, this is a little bit tasty.
That's a good way to put it, Andy. Like that. It's a little bit better now.
That was the only time I've been there, but
ran a mile.
Not long,
you summed it up perfectly, Andy. Whereabouts is it you're based?
I'm in northeast London. Stamford Hill, Stoke Newington, Dalston. You might know Dalston.
Right,
Old Street.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can go from Old Street up to Dalston, Stoke Newington, and then you get to where I am. It's just like on this like continuous road.
Right.
But it's good. It's where I am is really pretty quiet. So like the Jewish area, and then you go down the road, you get into Dalston, and then the nightlife begins really. And
it's a bit manic.
Or what was the nightlife?
Not quite as crazy as Paisley though. Not quite as mad. Bit more respectable.
How's it? Yeah. How's things? Are people getting back to work or like going out a bit, or what's
a little bit slowly but surely. It's taking its time. Obviously, we're kind of staggering things a bit more up here.
Yeah, a bit up and down. It's a bit up and down, isn't it? Sometimes you think it's okay, and all of a sudden it's a stark reminder again, isn't it?
Yeah. I think same here is. Yeah.
I was just saying to John,
slowly starting to move though. It's slowly kind of starting to get back to normality, but it is going to be a bit of time though, I think, before.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in a while. Have you just been keeping busy, Andy? Have you been trying to keep busy through this whole chaos?
Yeah, really busy actually. It's gone the other way.
Yeah.
Although I've been doing it so long, and then the last couple of years I've really kind of upped it a bit.
Yeah.
I had a lot of things in place, and this year I thought, right, I'm really going to go for it and invest more, try and work a bit harder. And there was a lot of stuff coming in, like I think the quality's just gone up.
Definitely.
And that was the game plan. It was like, right, I need to raise this because when I got signed to Glitterbox, that was sort of 3 years ago, and that's when you're nearly playing for Man City. You're on the subs bench.
That's true. Yeah.
And you see it, and you're like, oh God, I really need to. And it kind of rubs off on you. And I was kind of, you do something for so long, you're either going to keep it going and sort of try and raise the game, and that was my reasoning or logic. And then this happened. I was like, oh shit. And
better step up.
Well, you've got this extra time. You're not DJing at weekends, and then we're probably became or are about to, or might be like one of the go-to labels.
Yeah, definitely.
And then then everyone's on your case, and the lockdown is like even intensified that.
Yep, definitely.
So it's been. I mean, honestly, it's been really good because
Yeah.
So you're saying like the quality of the music's actually improved? Is that what you were saying there throughout the lockdown period? Do you think?
yeah, or you just you're focusing on one thing, and it's like, right, I need to, we're all panicking a bit, and so I thought, right, just let's just sort of focus more on the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're not. I'm not completely, constantly knackered or tired. So I've really sort of, this is it. I'm going to focus on this.
Mm-hmm.
This will get me through it. See what happens. Everyone's just sort of praying that the nightmare will end, and then
It's like that, I know.
but then the music side of it, it's like, all right, well, this is kind of why music exists, and this is why we're doing it.
Yeah.
This is our church or whatever it is. This is what brings us all together, and that's probably strengthened or galvanized myself, and I think the whole community is like, well,
Definitely.
okay, this is it as well, and it's good and bad. I think for me, it's a good thing. It's like this is why I'm here. I'm here to. I've reached this part of my life where I wanna do this more, and this, so however you justify it,
Yeah.
the reasoning is this has proved to be quite a good thing.
Definitely, it makes you kind of regroup a little bit, have a think about what direction you want to go out of the chaos of normal life. I think, doesn't it?
I do think maybe everything works in a 30-year cycle, and we're going to go back to quite a dark sort of period.
Yeah.
The superficiality and all everything that sort of distracts us might not have a chance to sort of blossom, and we might go back to like a really bad period, but the 70s and 80s sort of that's the music that we like. It's like the 90s and the zeros, like there's fuck all that that resonated really, because we're all high on high on everything, and maybe something will come out of it, and what do I know, but I think there's a huge tsunami of change coming, and I think we'd all agree with that.
I think a lot of people have pulled together through it all and appreciated what we all have, so we've all strived to make sure it doesn't, or certain clubs don't go under, certain events don't go under. You really appreciate what you've got in times like these, eh?
Yeah, but I do think the industry is completely screwed, because it's all gone online. I'm making music for a dance floor that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fuel an economy that probably will just completely deflate.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think we haven't really reached. We're still in the sort of, the dust hasn't settled, has it?
Definitely, I think it's
like over the last few months, so things have been moving online more and more. There's been kind of online communities kind of popping up, and people doing live streams and all that sort of stuff. You think that's kind of helping things along the way at the moment?
I think anything helps, really. It's just so weird, isn't it? It's I don't know. I'm not trying to kid myself that I don't want to live online at all.
And, see what comes of it.
But we're all crapping it, living in a big city like London. There's people are going out, but you can't go. The fact that you can't actually go up to someone it's
mad, isn't it? It's mad.
And you watch the news, or you don't want to watch the news, and you're praying for some like miracle medicine, but there's certain people who really sort of crop up and tell it how it is, and some people are like, this is it, and it's whether you want to sort of start stressing yourself out or looking into it too deeply. Regardless of music, the fabric of society, it's like, well,
the knock-on effect is huge, isn't it?
It's frightened by without something really bizarre happening. You got your Black Lives Matter. You've got all sorts of stuff. It's like it just feels like it's really unpredictable, and it's a bit of a worry. But I think
hopefully next year, hopefully 2021 should be a step in the right direction. Here's hoping, positive thinking.
I do think music is the one. This is the one that if in doubt, you know, it's going to resonate even more. And I'm just saying, like, for me, that's what I do, and you know, it's what you do.
Yeah.
It's the one thing. It's like the magic. It's the magic that you're always chasing it. It doesn't matter if you are making it, buying it, dancing to it, chatting about it. It's always there, and that's the beauty of it. That is it.
Yep, definitely.
I think it's interesting you were saying there about like during dark times. That's where kind of creativity, I guess, starts to blossom. Usually, when there is dark times, like that's when really interesting kind of new music comes out at that point in time as well.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, you know, if talking about things whether they do go around in 30-year cycles, but I'm not sure if that's actually true, because if you're going back in time, it's like, well, things were different then, and the music that got made was all about studio groups and a huge industry that had investment and artists, live performance. There was hardly any DJ culture, and you know, we're interested in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
But now it's like it's an interesting time, because we're sort of craving for that sort of feeling, but we can actually make that digitally and virtually. And there isn't an industry, there aren't bands, and the artists aren't really there. So you know, but saying that, it's like, well, you know, which artists, or do we have any spokespeople who can you know, really relate to these times, you know, like what they were doing then, whether it's Bob Marley, Shaka Khan, or you know, anyone you want to mention. It's like my fascination is like, well, what's gonna come out of all of this? That's what we want. We want people who can really sort of create the poetry, and some kind of team, or you know, there's a company that can, you know, it's out there anyway. But I just think it's going to be. I just think it's going to be an interesting period. Hopefully we can get rid of the fluff, and we can get down to some nitty gritty, but it's still got the groove. It's still got the you know, all the magic that sort of, you know, we all love.
How did you get started then, Andy? What was it inspired you, or who inspired you to get into this kind of line of music then? What kicked it off for you?
I think you do it naturally. I don't think it's a given thing, and it might be your parents, or you know, if you're lucky enough to have an older sibling. I didn't have any of that, and but it was in my school. If you wanted to survive the school,
the bullies,
you had to be able to dance. You had to, you know, look good. And then you know, honestly, the music that we had then was like insane. It's like I was probably 12, 13, buying Rocker's Revenge, Walking on the Sunshine. And we didn't really know about club culture in New York. And then I sort of just probably you know, quite innocently fell into, I think the groove like got me into it. And then we had a huge thing with street sounds. The whole Our Price, a lot of black music was coming over. Dancing, you know, White Lines, Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, that kind of period. Then a big record would have been like Cameo, Word Up. And even Whitney Houston. I mean, the early Whitney Houston, Madonna, Prince, Michael Jackson. It was insane. Everything was just like ridiculous. And then out of nowhere came Farley Jackmaster Funk. You know, I Love Can't Turn Around. And then I would have been about 15, 16, and I wasn't really into. We were going to clubs, but not. I was just outside London, and then you know, then you gravitate towards that, and you want to move to London, and that was it. I just kept meeting people who wanted to be DJs, and I was playing instruments, performing, and like heavily into music. You know, you're into music, girls, and going out, and then I had some GCSEs, and had no qualifications.
Yep.
And I ended up in. I went to. Ended just for some random choice. I went to Bournemouth University, and
Right.
I met my roommate became was Simon Phase Action before he did Phase Action, and Pete Herbert. I don't know if you know Pete Herbert.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good couple of guys to meet, I think.
Yeah, we were and we weren't DJs, and that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
I had 3 years of running parties, and because there was nothing then, there was no one was doing anything, and then I had a friend who lived in Edinburgh, and I really wanted to become a club promoter and a DJ, and I thought that was 1992. I moved to Edinburgh just to find my feet a little bit.
Yeah.
And then New Phonic started around 96. I moved back to London. Simon, Phase Action and New Phonic was like the biggest thing, the hottest thing in the world then. And that was 1996. I moved back, and New Phonic lasted about 3 years, but I didn't really consider myself like a producer or I was DJing, but I was working in a record shop, and I was just sort of buying my time.
Yep.
And then around 2002, the whole Yam Who thing, but it was formed out of a few different styles, and the neo soul and broken beat, disco, funk, boogie, hip hop. That was it. I was putting all of that together, and people like Amp Fiddler were coming out. Moody Man. I mean, that was kind of like the sort of sound, and it just exploded. It absolutely around 2003. That was when it started, and I haven't stopped since. I've not stopped working.
What's the thinking of the name Yam Who? It's such a unique name. What is the thinking? But we have to ask.
Yeah, we well, I worked in a record shop, and we were obsessed with. There was these guys. It was Danny. It wasn't Danny DeVito. It's the other guy in Taxi. He had this these
Andy Kaufman.
He set up the Jerky Boys prank phone callers,
right?
And I don't know if you remember. It was the early noughties, and you could buy the albums on CD, and it was just recordings of them in New York, calling people up, prank phone calls, and we were obsessed with these characters. One of the where they called up this guy, a Chinese dentist called Yam Who.
Oh, right.
And so anyway, blah blah blah. My surname is Andy Williams, and in the shop I was called Yam. Then they started calling me Yam Who.
It just stuck. 20 years later.
I needed a production name, and
right.
Because of the early stuff was like mainly we were doing edits before, when edits were like really it was an absolute no. But because it took off, the Yam Who, the question mark, I just felt like that. Yeah, that's the name. It just stayed. Yeah,
stuck out. That's a hell of a name.
So no mystery in the name, but it's from.
Got a hell of a story. What about Midnight Riot Records then? Because Andy obviously went into that because you're busy with Glitterbox, but you're a busy guy. Do you actually stop? You get your own label.
Yeah, it's the original label is ISM, and that was like the new disco label.
Yeah,
bands like Odyssey and Ron Bass Jam, and out of that I had the idea for Midnight Riot, and then the Black Riot imprint is just for the house side of things. So
right.
It is really busy. It's probably one of the busiest labels out there.
Definitely, that's what I mean. If you put on Facebook, that's the first one that seems to pop up. Somebody's got a new release, somebody's sharing it, somebody's liking it, somebody's enjoying it, and it's solid music, top quality stuff. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah. I mean, it's growing and growing. I can't see it stopping now, which is that's kind of the momentum. I think anyone wants, and that's taken a long time.
Definitely, no,
just perseverance, and just having, it's with music. You don't really have any desire to do anything else.
Yeah,
I've kind of made it work. It's an obsession as well. We're all completely addicted. So, being in London, I'm using my imagination to make it work. But by being here, you're at the epicenter here. You really are. And I'm using like the online, marketing or whatever to sort of connect to everyone. That's kind of how I'm doing it.
Definitely, I'll keep up the great work. It's definitely working a treat now. It's great to see it doing so well. So many artists getting involved in it, because you've got the new compilation coming out. Is it Love Will Fix It? Would you want to tell us a bit more about that? That seems to be, there's a lot of shares, a lot of posts about that. I'm wondering what's the story with that.
Yeah, it's just from COVID really. I think
Yeah.
I think I didn't want to do an Ibiza comp this year, so
Yeah, I didn't go down too well with it.
No,
next year. It's always next year.
No, but everything's like, I think everything has to come from you. It has to come from your heart. It has to come from a gut feeling. And the feeling was, this is the only, music and love,
Yeah.
has to be this is us. This is, sometimes apart from your friends and family, this is all we've got. And so that was it. And Ashford and Simpson, say no more really. It's I think everything I do has a very simple concept.
Yep.
And I think about it, I do the artwork and compile it, and you do the best that you can do, and if it resonates, then hallelujah.
Do you say you actually do the artwork yourself as well?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but again, going back to where if you ask me where I started, I started with artwork, and definitely.
So I would say that's actually one of the things that's quite distinctive about Midnight Riot is the artwork itself. It's always very eye-catching.
Yeah, that's why it's become successful, and that honestly, I say this over and over again. The name and the logo was pretty much my last chance of trying to find some success in the music industry.
Right.
And I thought about that logo and the name, like, believe it or not, for a long time, probably a few weeks. And it was a gut feeling. I was like, I've got to come up with something.
Yeah.
And I think I had the name Midnight. Midnight was from the Tottenham riots. The riots here started at midnight. I couldn't get home.
Oh, right.
It was just after that. Again, it was just a gut feeling, and sometimes I just lie around and sort of I wait for things to fall out of the air, and then Riot came out. It's like, it was a riot at midnight, and then I sort of spent a lot of time trying to do the logo, and the logo's evolved over the years, and I sort of taught myself Photoshop, and I thought once I've got this down, because no one really had the brand. A brand, I was like, I'm gonna make a brand.
Yeah.
I've got the music. We've all got the music, but I'm gonna put it all together, and that's what I did. It's taken a lot of work to get it where it is now. But I think everyone should do that. You should pursue whatever it is, whether it's football or God knows what. But that's what I'm doing. Yeah, definitely. I'm right inside it. It's awesome. It's me that you can see and feel it. That's how it should be.
I think that shows through, definitely with the fact that you'd cover the artwork as well. Really, as a personal project, isn't it? To get to that level must be, yeah. You're trying to plug on here, Andy. You're trying to sell t-shirts on here. No, it really does, like John said, it does stand out. It's very unique. So who can we expect on the album? So Love Will Fix It. What kind of artists, who can we expect that's involved in that then?
I mean, it's sort of mainly sort of key people I'm working with. I've kind of got a little community now. Yeah, we talk pretty much every day about stuff we're working on, and I might make them tracks or give them ideas, and find the vocalist. Mark Brickman is the first track, and that's that's with a girl from South Africa, Vanessa Jackson, who's really talented. She's a house vocalist, but she's kind of doing more boogie and disco tracks. Danny Kane and with Natasha Kitty Cat, of course.
Yeah.
There's Risk Assessment and Dr. Packer. That's Bad Times, the cover of the Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis track. Who else? I mean, it's Maciande. He's a really good producer from Chile.
Yeah, really good
Pretty
selection.
much everyone who's a regular sort of feature is on there.
Yeah, yeah.
Really good album.
Also, you definitely get quite a high output with all the music you're putting out there. How do you keep up with it all and like get the tracks out there? Because you must be getting a lot of promo sent to you all the time.
I do it. I mean, I'm doing it on Christmas Day. when you're all hungover, I'm on it. I never stop. I never ever stop because it's the fear of not being able to do that. I use the fear factor as a positive force.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you should, and you want to do it for as long as you're able to, because especially now it's like we don't know how bad shit's gonna get. It's a lot of people I'm talking to, especially just DJs are really in a bad place. So if I can provide work or if I can keep stuff going for people, I'll do it because it's not good.
Yeah, I was looking through online, and is it the Brixton Disco Festival? So that was rescheduled. So at least that's positive. Does that look like it's still going ahead? Then are you performing at that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, honestly, next year it's going to be it's back on. Glitterbox, Defected. They're not going anywhere. They're gonna when they come back, it'll be phenomenal.
Definitely.
It'll be like the end of World War II. People on buses.
We should do that. We should do that.
Kissing strangers in the street.
Take a party.
2 meter social distancing, kissing. Don't know how that'll work, but we'll give it a go.
I think it's going to be a good thing as well. You have to think about it. It's going to reset a lot of stuff. Global warming is going to kill us anyway. So, a little cough and a temperature. All right, you don't wish that on your worst enemy, but
we're expecting worst.
It's gonna, if we don't sort it out, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we do. We need to. We have to sort of less is more. Stop buying all this rubbish. Start growing your own.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Maybe a good point to wrap up on. Forget COVID. The world's going to burst into flames soon enough anyway. So we should be worrying about other things. I think, shouldn't we?
I don't know, but I think we can all, you'll never forget this. You will never ever. Before and after. And,
it's one for the history books. Definitely.
It is. But I do hope that things come back and we can. I don't know about New Year's Eve. I'm not planning that far ahead.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But hopefully next summer.
Yep.
We can really sort of. But maybe there's going to be a lot of losers, but I think we'll all naturally sort of gravitate into a new role in what we're doing with our lives. Really, I think. I hope we can. I hope we can really. I'm not sure. I'm really looking forward to the American elections.
Yes, that's
interesting.
Shake-up. That's a shake-up and a half.
That's going to be a showdown. That's going to be the highlight.
As if we could handle anything else this year.
It's gonna be the one, I'm telling you.
Can I just ask another question about Midnight Riot quickly? Obviously, it's been quite successful for you. So just going back to the start, what was the kind of vision for Midnight Riot when you were very first kind of putting it together?
Yeah, there was a few different things. One thing that we had in the 90s was compilations. There was all these amazing compilations that came out. I was working in Reckless Records in Soho, and there was a big even Newphonic and Norman J, Good Times, and BBE. There's these incredible sort of listening albums, and I felt that had been lost with the onslaught of SoundCloud and whatnot.
Yeah.
So all the early all the albums, everything that I do is supposed to be, believe it or not, a listening experience. and that's kind of something that I've got more and more into with the Balearic albums, the Take It to Church, all the roller boogie stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's something people are gravitated towards are the albums, and that kind of became the brand. And then it's like, oh yeah, I've got a brand here, right? Let's just focus on the brand. Let's do the t-shirts, and then one thing's just led to another. And then I think you need to do anything for at least 10 years before it becomes not an institution, but it's something that people really want in their lives, and whether it's going to a restaurant or, you know, whatever it is. So that's like the long term, is like to create a feeling or an experience. And going back, it started with the albums really, and you know, it's kind of snowballed really. Yeah.
No, it's inspiring. It's inspiring to watch. You're inspiring me and John anyway. We're trying to kind of get something up off the ground with the only good vibe stuff and do things a little bit different. So you're definitely an inspiration, Andy. We'll give you that.
Yeah, no, I think I mean, answering that question, there was another sort of piece of logic behind it, and something I sort of felt was missing again was when we first got into, you know, going back to when I was at university or the late 80s. We had this thing called the Balearic Network,
right?
And it was I was absolutely utterly smitten and obsessed with Boyzone and Andy Weatherall.
Yeah.
That was the Balearic Network, and they were doing nights, and you know, the music as well, and the characters and the humor and everything about it. And so that was part of my reasoning was like, okay, we can do this with the internet. You know, it's not being done. It's like, because clubbing had sort of lost its, for me, it lost its essence, or
right.
Why did I get into this? And it was due to like everything, we were all connected, and now we can do it. And so part of the I think the magic of Midnight Riot is connecting with everyone rather than just trying to be one above everyone else. It's like, no, I don't think that's not how we all need. It's a community, and
definitely.
using Facebook and the artwork and the music.
Brilliant.
And you know, everything that was definitely. I was trying to go back to why did I get into this, and where you know, where are we now? And that's definitely like the feeling that I sort of want to emanate is part of that. Yeah.
Definitely not. I think you've achieved that by the sounds of it. It sounds like you've achieved a lot, what you've set out to do anyway. It's great
inspiring other people. Like I've noticed that the artwork, you know, if you go onto Tracksource, the artwork's a lot better now. And I'm not saying that I'm you know, whatever, but you know, I think the bar should be raised. It's like you should start making better music. It's like,
I think online you see the artwork before you hear the sound. That's such a big.
It makes you want to press play or not, or walk away, you know, or flip on. But
it's half the battle or more.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really interesting time. Working with Glitterbox has been incredible. It's like suddenly it's like the songs have come back, and we've elbowed out the German, you know, that German tech house stuff was like hideous.
Yeah.
And it really killed. There was a 10-year, you know, it's no man's land for 10 years.
Yeah.
The drugs, everything was like, it was bullshit, absolute bullshit. And it's like, it feels like the party, you know, Glitterbox have brought it back.
It feels like it's got its soul back again, I think, hasn't it? It's found its heart and its soul again, dance music.
So just to be part of that, it's a good thing. You know, we're all getting older as well, and but I think this music has brought back. I mean, I've connected with like a lot of older DJs who were like literally. I don't think that were even listening to anything past probably the 1980s.
Yeah.
Early 90s. So I think that's one thing that's happened, and I'm part of that. Is like, we need to bring this back, and we need to modernize it. We need to update it, sell it to young people. It's like they're going to get lost. They're going to get lost into all this nonsense. So that's part of my that's definitely part of my drive, is to sort of commercialize it, but in a really, really good way.
Yeah,
Make it
definitely.
artistic. Make it look make it look like you want to hang it on your wall.
Yep.
Make amazing artwork, and part of that are the songs. So yeah, I think it's a good time.
Yeah.
People moan about this, that, and the other, but I just totally agree with that. And
Yes,
you
inspiring.
need to get out there and do shit. Do it.
I think it's about nurturing the youngsters, like you say, people who are just finding this for the first time, and even inspiring them to learn how to produce it, and even put maybe a band together. Me and John are trying to gather people up, put tutorials out, and just inspire the next generation to try and maintain momentum. Really, isn't it?
Yeah, I think house music's really guilty of cutting off
Yeah.
everything that went before it, and then what happened after that? It's like, well, not a lot really. So yeah, you should. I learned the piano by going onto YouTube,
Yep.
studying the blues, and then got into gospel, got into disco. You should do that. You should learn to play an instrument.
Yeah.
That just by doing that you'll start to make really, really good stuff. But you have to. We didn't do that. Everyone just became a DJ or a promoter.
Yeah.
And, you should really, if you just use the internet. It's like all there. And so that's what I do. I trawl the internet, and then I'm pulling it into my vision, and creating something.
Right.
So you obviously get a lot of tracks sent to you as well. What kind of advice would you give like up and coming producers that are working in music and sending out to labels, and just to make it get heard really?
I think I'd go back to just the craft of, I don't know, I think everyone just tries to become a career before they've actually studied.
Yeah.
I think you need to slow down, and maybe just try making one song that's amazing.
Yeah, the bigger picture, put the years in.
Get a singer. Just copy an old song, like study why it's good, and just make that one thing. There's some amazing people like Crazy P. It's like what they're doing is perfect. We need more of that, because there isn't a lot. And even in hip hop, it's like what's happened. R&B, what's happened there?
Yeah.
there was a beautiful period. And again, it's just going back to songs, and doesn't matter how simple it is, or maybe it should be simple. That's it really. I would, for a young budding, sending to labels.
Yep.
I mean, people just send stuff randomly half the time. It's like, well, that was just pointless.
Yeah.
They're just probably hit. It's a hit rate of how many labels they can. Yeah. I don't know. We're just focused on the right sound and the right releases and the key people.
Yep, definitely.
And so is everyone. A lot of other sort of really successful labels.
So what's coming next for Midnight Riot?
The really big one is the Yacht Rock album.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It's posted up. Yeah.
Yeah, this is amazing. It's taken a bit of work, so it's cover versions, but my reasoning is, you can't really license Steely Dan records or Phil Collins or Kenny Loggins or Michael McDonald. So
yeah,
I'm giving it. We've made about 12 tracks so far, and demos are coming in. So that's interesting, because I don't think that's really been done at this level before. And those songs are really cool. They've probably got a bit of a bad rep, or it's guilty pleasures. But I think if we get it right and make it sound right and cross it over, it's all groove. It's all groove related. But that's an area that I don't think any label's been stupid enough to even attempt yet. So.
You can be the first, Andy. We'll see how it goes. Then we'll maybe follow suit.
But it's good. It's what else? There's some interesting things. What have we got? The new Danny Kane, Princess Frisia, Art of Tones remix. That's incredible. I don't know if you know Danny Kane's stuff, but he is fierce. Birmingham again. It's like delving into the entire history of Birmingham. Danny Kane is like the man. Serious producer, songwriter, DJ, musician. So getting to know people like that. And then it's like, well, who else do you know? And there's a lot. All these cities have got incredible history that I think needs to be untapped.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. Birmingham. That's a serious place. So I don't know. I'd like to make one. I'd like to make a Philly disco album.
That'd be brilliant. Yeah.
I would. I think that Philadelphia is. There's people there. There's people there who. It's just how you curate it. I mean, I think I've got a skill set. I can do that now, and I've got a business that.
Well, you've said
on. So
you've said it now, Andy. So you're going to have to do it, I'm afraid. This is it's getting recorded. We're going to hold you to that.
This is a verbal contract.
It's all about the ideas, though. It's look at all the stuff you've been watching whilst you've been locked down, like all the documentaries on Netflix. It's like, that's a great story that I didn't know about, and I think that's the same with what I want to do. Is I want to unearth or create something with a story. I think it resonates, and I think people are really into it.
Definitely. No, thanks a lot for coming on, Andy. We'll not keep you much longer. We really appreciate you giving us some time to learn more about you and the label and your story.
I can see. Is that an acoustic guitar, but by your left shoulder?
I'm so bad. I've just been on the piano more than anything, to be honest. It's my dad's guitar. It's more for show, Andy. That I'm not going to lie. That's there for show.
Yeah, Pink Floyd and the Abbey Road.
My dad tried to force the guitar on me, but I was more piano, to be fair. But I leave it there to make him feel good, make him feel better. He's more of a.
Is he still in the business? Is he looking for a gig?
He's never wrote his own stuff. He's a great singer, he'll play the covers, but he's just never had in it to do the original stuff. I just think, what have you been playing at? So I'm trying to get him involved in me and John's stuff to write a few catchy riffs, bring a bit of Nile Rodgers into some of our tracks, but I'm going to keep chipping away at him. We'll get him, John. We'll buy him a couple of bottles of whiskey. We'll get him eventually.
One day.
No, he's just never been that inspired, but he gave us that. He inspired me with the rock side of things, but he's always into the jazz, funk, disco. It all comes for the parents, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, amazing, yeah.
So, maybe one day I'll pick that, but for now it's piano. It's all about piano. Like you say, just studying piano, playing piano, things like that, really. Starting the basics.
Yeah.
So where can people go to get these Midnight Riot T-shirts as well that you've designed?
John just wants a freebie.
You can get them over here, actually.
You need to go to London.
Let's go.
Jumping on the train.
Here you go. The storeroom is right here. So,
that looks like my size as well.
This is amazing. all shapes and sizes.
Wouldn't it be great if you just went to the camera and there was like 3 people in the back just like slaving away, making the T-shirts as we speak?
Like the Muppet Show, little...
No, but we'll let you go, Andy. We could probably talk nonsense all night, to be honest. We'll let you head off, mate. But thanks for taking time out. We'll catch up with you again soon, my friend.
Good chat to you, Andy.
Definitely.
Think positive. We'll get... Next year will be better.
You're so
See you later.
See you later, Andy.
Take care.